These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Gunning for a gold, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat train time. When the lights go green, we light the sky. Let's light it up. Let's light it up. Let's light it up.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever it is you may be watching from, and welcome in to a spooky trick-or-treat filled evening here on Infinity Broadcasting as we come your way from Bristol Dirt Circuit for a dirty little treat of Rod Knock Cup action brought to you by the iRacing World Challenge. 155 laps around the Bristol Dirt Circuit to come your way tonight, where it's bound to get down and dirty as the championship is coming to a close prior to heading into the playoffs in a few weeks' time. Hamish Munro here with you, as always, bringing you the action live on the Infinity Broadcasting Network. If you're watching either on Twitch, hit the follow button, follow us over there. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here with Rod Knock Cup action, Race Car Simulation Viet Veterans action, and the VRS Porsche Cup Series as well. We're nearly at 250 subscribers. We'd love to get there by, well, the end of October. Tomorrow is November. Let's see if we can get there before the end of October. Tonight, though, we're down to the nitty and gritty. We're down to the nitty and gritty of the championship. We've got many things to roll through this evening. Not only, obviously, the championship standings, the remaining races in this season as well, including our little treat later on in the broadcast. Joining me in the booth later on will be a little treat for you, one that was requested last season, and it's bound to be a fun time this evening. A lower car count tonight, only 5 cars sign up for the session right now, possibly 6 on offer tonight. So it's going to be a long race for these drivers, but they're here to try and classify and get some solid points on the board prior to the final regular season round next week out at Nashville Super Speedway. Let's have a quick look, though, where we situate in the championship at the moment. As I said, round 7 tonight, Bristol Dirt Circuit, 155 laps. Next week at Nashville ends out the championship regular at 84 laps. We then head into playoffs, Texas Motor Speedway, Mexico City, Road Course, and then Talladega Super Speedway to end it all out. So this is now the nitty and gritty of this title race. It's down to the nitty and gritty of the championship. And when we look at the standings, when we look at this, we can see that there's a bit of colour coding going on. So, the drivers in gold, Angus Lawford, Kurt Chapman, Jake Edwards, David Lawler. They are in gold because all they need to do this evening at Bristol is score points, and they are guaranteed to be within the playoffs in 2 weeks' time when we go racing out at Texas Motor Speedway. The drivers in blue are the drivers on the possible cutoff line to drop outside of the top 10. Doesn't matter if they score points tonight, they can still drop outside of the top 10. Those being Alex Mateus, Matt Feely, Logan Howard, Harry Dodds, Ash DeVries, and John Trott. None of them are in the server at the moment. None of them are in the server. So it is a slight likelihood that they could drop out this evening by not being in the race tonight. Dylan Shepherd in 11th. He's the closest possible chance of making it into the top 10. He's not in the server, though. Johnny Rowe is rushing to get to the server to try and get some points on the board. He sits equal 12th with James Boardman at the moment. Both of them on 95 points. James not here this evening. So Johnny can get in. That's what the black names mean. They can make the playoffs still, but the red line will start to move up after this evening's race. We'll get into that in a moment. So Johnny Rowe can get in. He plans to be racing tonight, so we'll see if that happens. James Boardman not racing tonight, so he'll have to focus up for next week at Nashville if he wants to make the playoffs. Jack Anderson on 86 points. A man who missed 3 rounds this season by being overseas can still make the playoffs. He will hope to get maximum points on the board this evening. And with only 5 cars on the road, it is a high likelihood that that's going to happen, and he will find himself in a playoff position next week when we head out to Nashville. Jordan Ferguson mathematically can still make it. So can Ross Armour. Jack Michelson's only done 2 races this season. He's still within a chance as well, as is Ricky Hyde, as is Bailey Brannon. But with the majority of these guys away, they're going to drop into the knockout zone tonight by not racing. All the drivers in red, unfortunately, they've already been knocked out of contention to make the playoffs, so they cannot progress into a playoffs position. They can still race this week, next week, and throughout the 3 weeks of the playoffs as well, but they unfortunately can now not contest for the championship. For those who may not understand how the playoffs are going to be working, the top 10 in the championship after 8 rounds will go into playoffs. Points will then be reset to be equal, plus their bonus points from the season. So if they've gotten bonus points from stage wins, race wins, that sort of stuff, that'll then be applied to their reset points. and that's how we'll dictate the top 10 heading into the playoffs. Round 1 of the playoffs out at Texas will knock out P8 through to P10. Round 2 will knock out P5 to P7, and then the final round, it'll be the final 4 battling for the championship. Will it end up like this? Who knows? But with so many drivers away who are inside of the top 10 and in playoff contention this week, that is going to be hurtful for them, and that is going to put pressure on them next week at Nashville to perform and hopefully make the playoffs for the 3 weeks afterwards as well. As we get into qualifying though tonight, drivers are out there at the moment getting themselves sorted. David Lawler's out on track tonight, Gravy Taskin as well. Jack Anderson's out there, Kurt Chapman and Angus Lawford. So 3 of our top 4 are out there. Those 3 just need to score points and they need to make 75% of the race, which is roughly 117 laps. And they will be in the playoffs in 2 weeks' time. Anderson, he can still make the playoffs. He just wants to get good points on the board this evening to try and almost guarantee himself next week by scoring points. And then Gravy Taskin, who's below the cut line, cannot make playoffs, is out here tonight for vibes and out here trying to get himself just some more points, some more experience in this car, and reset himself for next season when we go racing once again. So Gravy's currently the only driver on track doing laps at the moment here in qualifying. So it is starting to tighten up between these drivers. It is going to be a tough night for them here. It's going to be a tough night. It's going to be a tough night for them having to race around this place as well. Hopefully we don't get too many cautions and it's a pretty straightforward run to the end. But Bristol can throw up any sort of X factors about it. Obviously with dirt racing tonight in these cars, that's going to have a big issue on them. It's going to be a big difficulty for them as well. So we look forward to seeing how they do and how they end up going across this race here as Taskin just puts it into the wall here during qualifying. We've only had, as I said, a few cars at times in the session. Lawford, Anderson, Taskin, and David Lawler. Actually, no, Anderson and Lawler have not set times yet. They've not actually been classified, unfortunately, at this stage. I don't know why they're overlapping up there, but it's currently Lawford to Chapman, Taskin P3, Anderson and Lawler in behind them at this stage. Qualifying is going to come to an end, though, and we're going to get ourselves prepped up for the beginning of the race proceedings here tonight as we go racing at Bristol. This track, as we said, is going to throw a lot of difficulties at them. As the race goes on, the track will progress, though. More of the dirt will start to get pushed up towards the high line. That'll make the lap times a little bit faster, but they've got to stay off the super slick stuff. You see there, that really shiny part of the corner. That's where the car's going to get really loose, and that's where they're going to struggle. They've then got to try and stay off the really dark colored dirt on the top corner as well, because that stuff is all loose dirt. You're not going to get gripped up through there, and it's going to be a real struggle. They also don't want to hug it too low. That's where the tarmac is starting to appear at the bottom there, or the concrete is starting to appear at the bottom of the circuit as well. So they've got to be cautious of that. It is an ever-evolving circuit. It's going to continue to evolve across the race, and it's going to continue to evolve across the 155 laps. So it's not going to be the same track that we see right now when we get to the end of the 155 as Anderson goes to P2 on his first attempt here in qualifying. So he has just started to put a lap time on the board for himself. We'll see how this works out for him across the next period of time. Remembering they've only got 3 laps to set a lap time here in qualifying as he comes across the line again. It is a 19.63 currently. That was his previous lap. His best though is a 19.34. That's qualifying done for Anderson. We'll see if if Lawler's actually going to set a time or not. I'm not 100% sure if he will be. And that is the white flag. Qualifying done and dusted. So we'll get ourselves prepped up. Stage 1 is 70 laps here this evening out at Bristol. Stage 2 will then take us to the end of the race at 155 for our Dirty Trick or Treat Spectacular right here on Halloween this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be a fun pace race. It's going to be a fun night as well. We're going to have some fun in the booth across the piece too. It's not just going to be calling action as we go along with only 5 cars out there. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We've got a bit of fun to be had in the booth too. We'll chat to the drivers across the race as well. We'll see how they're feeling. And hopefully, a little surprise we've got planned is going to be one that you guys can at least find some enjoyment out of throughout the race as well. I hope you can. Starting grid, there will be as follows. Lawford ahead of Anderson, Chapman, Taskin, and Lawler at the back of the field. So we still have every manufacturer being represented tonight, but it is a real shame that we've got such low car counts this evening. Hopefully Nashville next week, we do go back to a regular amount of cars, upwards of 10, to keep the racing extra spicy when we go regular oval racing once again. So we'll see how these drivers do off the race start, and we'll see how they do across these first 70 laps. Leith McClements in the chat with us. Lid skids, or I don't know if we'll see any lid skids tonight, Leith, but there's certainly going to be a lot of sliding action. Possibility of pace cars is very, very high. I have a feeling we could see a race where we're in the double digits for pace cars, being that there's so many laps on offer for us, but we'll have to wait and see. Full green flag running of this race will take us to roughly 55 minutes. So I'd say at a minimum it's going to be an hour, because we will be under caution once the auto stage has set the caution flying at the end of lap 70. So we're going to see how this all plays out for them as well. Ash DeVries in the chat with us too, full send, full time. So we hope to see Ash back next week, where he'll try and make the playoffs to go racing for the final 3 rounds. Pace car's going to come in though to pit lane. We're going to get ready to go racing here at Bristol Dirt Circuit. It's meant to be a bit of fun tonight. We're going to be a bit loose in the comms box as well, and it is going to be a fun full time. So get in the chat, let us know your thoughts, and get involved. Green flag, Bristol Dirt. It's time to slide our way for 155 laps, and the slides have already begun in through turn number 1. We'll see if any of them push up high or we get into any strife around this circuit. Lawford's had a fantastic race start already. As he gets us underway here, he's done very well. And lap times will shortly start to come in, but Lawford is in a fantastic position already. Anderson P2 at the moment as well. Chapman P3, Lawler, and then Taskin at the back of the field just struggling at the moment. Oh, you can see as Lawler gets pushed up high right into the wall. We're still running though. We're right on board with him, as he'll look to continue to apply some pressure here to Chapman. Good start to the race though. They're still running well. And this is going to be, there's a sense of survival amongst this race, and a sense of survival amongst this crowd as well, and amongst this field. Lawler is still getting the push from that car up into the wall. He's got to be careful of that. He's just trying to tip it in and keep it out of the barrier. Doesn't want to get caught out wall riding. Chapman and Anderson. Anderson has run it up way high, and Chapo's come straight past him. Lawford, though, is in a league of his own right now. Full sideways action. As we said, that man's only got to score points tonight, and he has made the playoffs. Brandon in the chat with us. You reckon there will be more skids than in underwear? Quite possibly. There quite possibly could be more skids. I think there's already more slides than a childhood playground in the park. And they're really starting to get into it now. Chapman, oh my God, there's nearly contact with Lawler. They've just survived the run through. And it's going to be a materializing race as we go along. Everything is going to improve. Alexander Durakas in the chat with us. Let's go Taskin. He's already 6 seconds off the back of Kurt Chapman as he slides that car through turn 3 and 4. He's got to be careful though of running it down low. Chapo starting to put some pressure here on Lawler. And the feeling tonight, I suppose, for Lawler, Chapman and Lawford is they've just got to score the points. They've just got to finish the race. They've just got to get those points on the board. With only 5 cars on the road tonight, they're pretty much guaranteed to make the playoffs. They've just got to survive the 155 laps. Anderson and his Toyota is doing well here. A little bit of Halloween dress up for him, dressing up as Yoda and Grogu all at once. So he's doing well in P2 at the moment. Chapo is still tucked up right behind him. It'll be interesting to see what the strategies are tonight, and if we do actually get any green flag pit stops. I was talking to the boys pre-race and I felt, oh, maybe we won't, Matt. I think all pit stops could be under yellow flag. But the way we're going, we may only get green flag pit stops in this race. I mean, the drivers are doing well just to keep themselves in line and in check, and keep the cars in line and in check as well. It's been really, really good to see. Ashley's out there too, sending my love from Tassie. We hope you're enjoying your time back down in Tassie Shores, and we hope to see you back next week for Nashville, where you'll try and make the playoffs for the end of the season. That'll be a fun time to watch that going ahead. Let's have a quick talk about last week at Sonoma. That was a wild race last week at Sonoma, a wild round as well. Obviously an out-of-nowhere podium for Alex Mateos. That put him up into the top 5 in the championship. Again, out of nowhere. He's away and out this week, unfortunately, with an injured back. So hopefully we see Alex back next week as well, because it'd be fantastic to see him make the playoffs in his very first iRacing league here in the IRWC. That'd be a great time to see that happening. So hopefully, Alex, if you are watching, you can race with us next week and try and get your car into the playoffs for the final 3 rounds of the season. Round Yoda and Grogu is known as Yogru. Well, could it possibly be known as Groda as well? Doesn't necessarily have to be Yogru, it could be Groda as a possibility too, as Anderson has had a big slide and down into the low line there, and that is the first caution of the race. He's just gotten it going again, so first caution here out at Bristol. That's now going to cut down the race lead of Angus Lawford, as we see Chapo start to come into shot and tuck up right behind him once again. Oh man, what a start to this race. That was a good little green flag period there, actually. They did well just to survive the run to that point. Let's have a quick chat to Mr. Anderson, who's just brought out the hello, Mr. Anderson.
Hello, W1 and W2.
The other one's not here yet. They're not here yet. Yeah, they'll be here later. Got the caution out there, a little bit of a slide. What happened? Did she just snap out on you, or was it a little bit too much gas? Just found you a little bit too
I'm
loose?
just trying different lines. And that one didn't work. And then I tried to get out of the way so I didn't get collected by cars behind me.
Yeah. So I would assume now just a little bit of fuel on board the car out of that stop, no tyres, I'm assuming.
Yeah, tyres are at 97%, so, or 94 at the rear, so I don't really need it at the moment. I feel like once it starts licking up even more, it'll be to the point where we will need tyres.
I was going to say, I mean, 97% at the rears, your tyres are probably good for, what, 50 or 60 laps then? I mean, that seems...
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, that seems like the distance. Well, you'll have a little bit of strategic advantage now, I suppose. I mean, Chapo and Lawler came in with you, but Lawford stayed out, so we'll see how that plays out for you. But
yeah, I mean, there's not really much point not taking it.
I know.
Because you're not going to lose that many spots.
And it's free. I mean, like, where are you going to go? But yeah, well, we'll see how you go throughout the rest of this race, Jackos. I'll send you back to keep having a little cuddle and a kiss with with Mr. Chapman, and we'll see how you get on now after this restart.
All good, mate. Shout out to Paul Taskin.
Shout out, Paul. Thank you. We send him back. We'll shout to Kurt very, very soon. He's just snuck in more little references or clues for you of who could be here later. Who knows? Groda sounds like some kind of disease. Well, we'll see if we have a vaccine for it this evening as we get prepped to go racing once again here at Bristol. First caution of the night. How many more could we possibly have? We are 18 laps just about into this race. About to start lap 19. Pace cars in. Restart zone will light up once again. And it's green flag at Bristol as we are underway. And we send these cars back into the slide and back into the skid. As we continue on, you can see Chapman and Lawler beginning to battle for P2. They don't want to let Lawford run away too quickly, though, if they can. Oh, they only just survived no contact in P2 there for Chapman now as he gets past David Lawler. And this race it's really starting to heat up because any small mistake could cost you positions. I mean, it cost Anderson a couple, but he, of course, also came into pit lane Lawler's trying to run that low line. We'll see how capable he is as he gets side by side with Chapman. As they run around the straight, Chapo's put it up into the wall. Contact's made with David Lawler as well. Both of them have had a low par contact. And they now continue on. That's dragged Anderson back into it as he sneaks up the inside. Got to be careful of the push up though. Tucks it right in front of Lawler. And a great move. Now back up on the podium. This is allowing Lawford just to run away a little bit, but all three of them are running up high into the wall. All three of them are struggling to keep these cars under grip and under pressure around this circuit, trying to find the right line. We heard that Anderson was toying with it a little bit. So was Chapman, I would assume. This is giving Lawford one hell of a lead. I suppose the difference maker is it doesn't matter how much of a lead he gets right now. We're so early on in the race. A caution thrown at any time will take him straight back out of it again. Lawler's got to be careful, though, of not entering pit lane. Taskin has ended up a lap down on the field by pitting under the caution when everyone else was still out there. He should have come in initially, actually, when they first came through, but that's a real tough task for him to pull that one out of the bag, pull a rabbit out of the hat for that one there. Kurt Chapman, though, P2 at the moment, he is starting just to chase down Angus Lawford a little bit here, just starting to get up to him. And he'd be hopeful that he can continue to apply some pressure and maybe steal away another victory this season from Lawford. Chapo took a good victory last week out at Sonoma. It was a well-fought win. But again, as they continue to race along tonight, that dirt's going to continue to get pushed up further and further towards the top end of the circuit. It's going to move the line of grip up as well, and it will make the circuit just a little bit faster as they continue on through. What a great shot, though, of the crowd we can see just out the side of this car. If we even move it to the gyro there, you can see the banking on this circuit. So you can watch as it slides and banks up as well. Taskin's back in pit lane. Chapman, though, is now all over Lawford. Yellow flag is thrown, and it's Gravy Taskin who's had to pull it up. So the second caution of the race is up once again. And we get stopped and reset to go racing. These guys are really heating things up as well. And just starting to get prepped. So Lawford's in. The rest have stayed out on track. So Chapman, Anderson, Lawler have all stayed in. Lawford coming in now has cost him the race lead, but it gets him back on strategy with these other guys. We wait to see if Taskin is actually going to get a lucky dog here. He would be hopeful to. Let's have a quick chat to Kurt Chapman. See what his thoughts are at the moment.
In.
Chapo, welcome in. We've just cut off your discussion there with Mr. Anderson. Into the race lead now. You actually had really good push there up to Lawford off that last restart. Where did the pace come from there? Because you were struggling a little bit with Lawler as you guys battled away. And did anything change in the car, or did it just start to come to you a bit better?
Maybe the extra weight from the fuel that we just put in helped ground the car off that last restart. But yeah, after like 2 or 3 laps, it become pretty loose and kept making mistakes again.
How's the track developing out there? Because we can see obviously the line's starting to get pushed up a little bit higher. Is it going to get faster now throughout this race as that line continues to kind of spread, or do you think it's going to get a bit slower as you guys have to be a bit more careful?
I think it's going to get slower as we're getting a bit more careful. We're having to throw the cars in pretty hard and modulate the throttle a fair bit to get them turned. So the slicker it gets, the harder it's going to be for them to turn.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Obviously 2 cautions at this point. We could still be on for double-digit numbers just yet, but we'll let you get prepped for the restart and get ready to roll again. Best of luck, and we may chat to you again throughout this race as we get more cautions happening.
Sweet, thank you.
Scott Chapman there, current race leader, has just been moved up and about back to the general channel to chat along with Jack Anderson. I combined words there. It's, you know, the brain's had a nice little reset this week, and now it's already starting to melt away once again. So we'll see how the drivers progress throughout this one. Green flag though, restart zone lights up again. It's a good start from Chapman and from Lawler. Anderson has been caught napping with Lawford hot on his heels as we are rolling again. And Chapman, oh, he ran it a bit too high. Up into the fence. Lawler continues to try and pressurize him for position. There's only so much pressure though that can be applied before the knot starts to get unglued on the internals. Anderson is just trying to keep up with them. Currently fastest lap of the race still sits with Lawford. It was a 19.32. But it's good points on offer for these boys tonight as they continue racing along. Lap 34 of 70. We're about to hit the halfway point of stage one as Chapman has run it up way too high. Anderson's gotten past Lawler, so did Lawford as well. And if these issues continue for Chapman, Anderson and Lawford are going to chase him down and they're going to get past him. There's no matter of doubt in my mind about that possibly happening. It's just continuing on. And as Chapman said, as this race progresses, I mean, it's going to get tougher and tougher. Obviously, not just the surface of the circuit changing, not just the line getting pushed up higher and they're having to modulate the throttle more, but the endurance is going to start to take a toll as well. And that's going to be a part to play throughout this race, is these drivers just having to modulate their endurance, modulate the breathing, modulate the muscle wear and tear across the race as well. It's not easy to race around Bristol Dirt, especially in these cars. They're such a boat and you're trying to wrestle it across a beach. It's a really difficult place to come racing. Chapman though in the lead at this point by about a second over Anderson. Lawford is just starting to creep back up onto Ando's tail now, so we'll see if he can continue to apply some pressure at this point of the race. We continue on going forward. So we run it round. Let's see that Taskin is now back in pit road. No, he's not. He's had a spin. And that's another yellow flag. Another yellow flag has now been thrown. As Gravy Taskin has had a spin down there by the pit entry. So it's starting to affect these drivers now, those spins. The more spins they're having, the worse it's getting for them. I suppose we could see some wild dice rolls in terms of strategies tonight. The more cautions we get, the free pit stops continue to happen. The more cautions we get to come in, put some free fuel in the car. So we may see someone, you know, roll these dice, start to just see what plays for them again. As Anderson said earlier, you're not going to lose very much by coming in. Lawford and Lawler are going to play that game. They're going to come in. They're going to take the free fuel. You might as well. It is a 4 free pit stop. And with everybody being so tight together throughout this race, they're going to continue to just, you know, try and cut down the laps, and trying to cut down these laps are going to just continue to develop the car as well. So we'll see how the rest of this race develops. We are only a fifth of the way through this thing. Not even, actually. We're about a quarter of the way through now. We've just ticked over the 40-second lap. So more and more of these laps are going to cut down. More cautions that happen, the more dice rolls we get in terms of strategy. Taskin's exiting pit lane now. So He's been able just to pull another game as they continue on. He is still a couple laps down on those leaders, so be hoping for a wave around at some point if he can get it. So Chapman will lead us on the restart. Anderson will try and go with him. Lawford and Lawler have put fresh fuel in the car. Lawler, importantly, has taken some tyres on board that car. So that's going to be interesting how that now plays out. If he's pulled it right to take the grip advantage at this point of the race. I feel it may be a little bit too early because we're still getting cautions thrown and we're still getting that sort of breaking up of the race and breaking up of the stint. It might help him now, but it's going to help the other drivers later if we continue on this trend and they play the patient game of waiting to take tyres on another restart. But time will tell, and the clock will give us the story when we get to the end of the race. Pace cars coming in though. Restart zone will get lit up once again. Green flag, Rod not cover Bristol. We are back underway as Anderson on that outside line of Chapman. They try and tip it in, but the car just doesn't want to do it. Lawler is on that outside line. Remembering he took those pressure tyres. Bit of side-by-side action though with Anderson as they go door-to-door. Lawford sneaks up on the inside. Chapman will start to feel some pressure now. If this restart is through, comes Lawler back into the race lead. So there was no tyres put on the 52, but the fresh fuel has been put on board as Lawford and Anderson on the low line. Chapman and Lawler on the high side. Oh, as that was Lawford into the wall then. And he's just struggling for grip just a little bit here as Anderson is continuing to put some pressure on him in behind. 25 to go in stage one. We're at the 45 lap marker. So 25 laps until stage one is complete. And the first set of points are applied this evening as that was Lawler and Chapman both up into the wall. Lawford tucking his way forward right now. As soon as stage one is over, we can classify Lawford, Lawler and Chapman as playoff drivers. It is as soon as it has ended. Doesn't matter where they finish. All they had to do was score points tonight. The differential of positions in the point structure from P1 to P30, we've had 30 drivers race this season, is 83 points across the 2 rounds. 83. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's 86, sorry. It's 86 points across the first 2 rounds. It's 40 points for a race win, 7 points for the end. My math's off again. What am I doing? Absolute mathematics genius here, apparently. It's 86 because of the stage points wins. So if you were to get maximum points and get the 50 compared to the 7 of P30, the 43 point difference is 86 points. So yeah, so that's what it is. So 86 points is what they needed to be within P10 to not get cut out. It's also the difference of what Lawford needed to actually continue on and be locked into the playoffs. That can happen tonight. As Taskin's back in pit lane. Oh no, it's not. He's had another moment down near the pit entry, but he's kept it going. No caution is thrown. Lawford and Anderson, though, continuing on as they battle for P3. Chapman's starting to run away from Lawler at the front of the field. Which one of them is going to start to get the breakaway here tonight? As Anderson continues the push, how good would it be for him to make the playoffs? Missed 3 rounds this season. Mathematically, it can be done. Once we finish tonight, the amount of points difference for positions will change from 86 to 43. That will cut a lot of drivers out dependent on who is P10 in the championship after tonight's race. Right now, though, it's very likely going to be either Jack Anderson or someone currently in the top 10. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong moment. Or someone currently inside of the top 10. So that is what the current play and rate of play is as we continue on forward. So Lawler, who's riding it high, has just hit the wall again. Chapman's come back through into the race lead. So pressure is continuing to build Oh, is it getting real loose through there? You can see Lawler got loose, actually had to tuck it back down onto the inside. So the strategies are starting to come together. You can see the dust getting thrown up off the back of Chapman's car. And this race and this pressure is starting to build now. Is that someone ahead of him? No, I thought it might have been Taskin. Oh no, it is Taskin. He is ahead of him. So there is still some dust getting thrown up here or there. 15 to go in the first stage. So it'll only be a couple of minutes to go. Remembering if there's a caution thrown at a certain point, the stage will end early. So drivers will have to prepare themselves for that happening. We're 57 of 155. Chop in the chat, not a big turnout tonight. Taking not many like the dirt. Apparently not, Chop. It's unfortunate. We had people said they were coming and then they didn't show up. That's a real shame. Hopefully we'll see more next week out at Nashville when we go racing for the final regular season round. There's still playoff positions on offer for drivers. There's still points on offer for drivers as well, as Taskins could start to have a part to play here in the race, as Chapman and Lawler are just getting up to him, but Chapman didn't want to come through, and that's contact with Lawler. Chapo's gone round. Caution is thrown. 12 to go in the stage. It's the fourth caution of the race. Chapman didn't want to drill the back of the lap car of Taskin, and that is now the difficulty that is being applied with the lapped car out there, because they can't easily find their way through. The good news for Chapman is he's still on the lead lap. He'll get a free pit stop here so he could come in, get the car fixed, and then push on. So this should see Taskin just came past the pace car to continue on, so he's still 2 laps down. So hopefully, you know, this is not a continuous trend, although the continuous trend of these pace cars is it is actually keeping the field close, which is good. So that is a benefit of the cautions, is that the field is not actually spreading out too much, which means the battle is actually continuing on for position, which is great to see. So Anderson is going to come in, Lawford's in, Lawler has stayed out. Of course, he's on fresh tyres. We'll see if Chapo, he's just come through again, so he has been in pit lane. So let's see what the stop strategy is for these two. So Ando in, gets the fast repair set. Tyres are going on board that car. Lawford has only taken fuel, no tyres. Anderson is taking all 4. So fresh rubber on board that car. Chapman took tyres too on his stop. So Lawford is the only driver at this point of the race yet to use a set of tyres. This could get interesting. Now, knowing that the stage end is coming up, he was able to move through this pretty easily without taking tyres, and I have a feeling that he knows he could end the stage without having to take tyres at this point. He'll likely take them on the stage end. So as the pressure will start to build, we'll see who's going to crack under it, who's going to come out as a precious gem going forward. Fourth caution of the race, lap 62. We have got 8 laps or 9 laps to go until the stage end. When we get reset though, because the lights are not on the pace car just yet, it should be, when we get reset it'll be 7 laps to go in the stage, because next lap will be 8, the reset lap will be 7 to go. So it's going to get down to the nitty and gritty. We'll see if they can keep themselves neat and tidy across these 7 green flag laps. The lights are out on the pace car now as they begin lap 63. And lap 64 will be our restart of the race going forward. So Lawford, not on fresh tyres. Lawler is on now 20 lap old tyres. Anderson and Chapman are on fresh tyres in behind him. Will he be able to withstand 7 laps with them behind him on fresh rubber? Or are they going to have some opportunity to actually get past him? It's going to be a tough question to answer, I'm sure. Taskin is out there for vibes, honestly. I mean, he last bit on lap 39. We'll see if he can pull something out of this race or if a miracle's going to happen. 7 laps to go in stage 1. Green flag is out once again as we get back underway at Bristol Dirt. You can see Lawford stuck on the high line there, right in the wall a little bit. That's let the fresh tyre runners of Lawler, Anderson and Chapman back past him. So as they run it back round again, pressure is still on them. There's still so long to go in this race. We're not even at the halfway point. And you just have a feeling that all of these guys are starting to feel it in the upper arms, the forearms, possibly the glutes as well. It is going to start working them out the longer this race goes on. And those cautions, yes, they're keeping the pack together, but they're extending the race time as Lawler gets a little bit overextended on his slide. Chapman wants to try and get a run on him. 5 to go in stage 1. Chapo on the inside line, but Lawler's able to carry a bit more speed. It's going to be 2-1 on the exit of the corner, and Lawler sneaks on by, takes back the race lead. So Chapman's trying to find any which way he can as Lawler runs it up high, taps the wall. And this is what Chapman wants. He wants him to crack, and he wants to try and sneak on through and get a stage win here this evening. 4 to go in stage 1. 4 laps left to run in this stage. And now it's 3 laps to go. It's gone by very quickly. And the pressure is not lifting on David Lawler, but he is taking it to his heart. He's wearing it on his sleeve, and he's continuing to push on proper at this stage of the race. 2 to go in stage 1 on lap 69. Nice of the 155. And as we continue to push, pressure will continue to build as Lawford is still tucked on the back of Anderson. White flag for stage 1 is out now. 1 to go until the stage ends. Once that yellow flag goes, that'll be the end of the stage, but the points will not get allocated until the caution is out for at least 1 lap. So we'll be able to tell you the exact finishing spots for the stage. As I said, once the stage does end as they cross the line, so stage 2 will begin shortly. Stage 1 comes to an end, the caution is out. David Lawler's taking the stage win to Chapman, Anderson, Lawford and Taskin. So that now provisionally puts Lawler, Chapman and Lawford locked into the playoffs in a couple of weeks' time, but they'll be hoping to finish out this race to properly lock themselves in. We are half an hour into this race. We are 45% of the way through. We're going to take this time to go to a very, very short quick ad break as our 5th caution is out for the stage end. Don't go anywhere. The last portion of this race is about to come your way as we continue to go racing at Bristol Dirt right here on Infinity Broadcasting of the IRWC Rod Knock Cup. We'll be back very soon. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Welcome back to the IRWC Rod Knot Cup, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 78 laps to go in stage 2. We are at the halfway point of proceedings. The race got back underway whilst we were still in our ad break, so we missed the call of the restart, unfortunately. But it's green flag running, and Jack Anderson is leading the way. The only two cars to pit under that caution was David Lawler and Angus Lawford. So they're on a little bit of a fuel advantage now. They took the free stop for fuel. Everyone else stayed out of pits as Lawler and Anderson continue to battle away for the front end of town positioning here. Lawler runs it high though, hits the wall as Anderson starts to come at him. Now that we are at the halfway point of the race too, we can now introduce a little nervous Nelly who, oh my God, okay, this is still happening as we're doing this. Into the booth now for the second half of the race. It was requested last season that we'd run a dirt race. Check. It was also requested that a certain somebody's partner would do a broadcast with us as well. So we decided to put the two and two together for the first time in Infinity Broadcasting. My partner, Rhiannon, is with us this evening. Rhiannon, I know you're full of good facts. How many facts about dirt racing? I have no idea. I should know by now. We're 9 months into our relationship, but welcome into Infinity Broadcasting and welcome to what is becoming a filthy and chaotic race at Bristol Dirt.
Thank you for that intro, Hamish. I have probably zero facts about dirt racing because I don't even know if I came up with it. I just know I repeat it real fast, real left, because I know nothing about cars. This was just something that sounded fun.
I mean, it's all about fun, and you can see the drivers having fun right now behind us. Lawler and Lawford are trying to traverse that lap traffic of Gravy Taskin, so the gravy is laid on thick here tonight for our delicious chicken at Bristol Dirt. As I said, you're full of facts. One thing you're full of facts about is concrete. Why don't you just spew out a concrete fact for us? Let's get it out of the way early.
Well, the only one I can remember is that it can be made with gravel. It is usually a binder that is what makes cement and concrete together, because unfortunately I can't access my fact machine because I live out in the sticks compared to you and have to use my phone to be able to do this, not my own internet.
Wow, fantastic. Well, one thing we could also say is, though, concrete can be made by using dirt as a binder in the concrete as well, and we get to lay that hole back again right here to Bristol Dirt as Anderson is looking to slide his Toyota car back past Angus Lawford across again. Now, we were obviously chatting between you and I as it's 69 nice laps to go here. I have to shout that one out.
Nice.
The combination of Yoda and Grogu is either Yoguru or Groda.
I am team Yoguru because it sounds like a cool yogurt flavor.
Actually, that's just Go-Gurt. Are you a big Go-Gurt fan?
Yes, I love myself a tube of yogurt. Hamish?
Fantastic. What's your favourite flavour of yogurt?
Well, it would have to be the strawberry one because it has a tinge of red.
Wonderful.
And it just tastes like the color it is.
I know, I can tell you right now what David Lawler's favourite flavour of yogurt is, and it is the flavour of victory, because he's currently leading this race by 0.3 of a second. Nice little way for us to segue back again into this race with 67 laps to go. Well, I suppose we should ask you a very important question.
Oh no,
and
I
that
don't.
is, what is your favourite type of dirt?
Clay.
Does that count as dirt? That's
The kind
clay.
of dirt that can. Not all dirt can make clay.
Okay. Is
So
clay
the kind
made
of
of
dirt
dirt?
that can make clay. Yes.
But is dirt made of clay?
Yes. I will not elaborate
Okay, 65.
because you gotta leave some mystery for the people.
You've got to leave some mystery, of course. 65, well, now 64 laps to go. It's gone by very, very quickly. The race is being controlled here by Project 36. I wonder what happened to the first 35 projects of this team.
Probably. Who knows? Could have been science experiments. You know, we've mentioned it before. They could have been from the Baja.
They could have been, shout out to our good friend Jesse Ventura, friend of the channel, Jesse Ventura. 63 laps to go, about to be 62 as they cross the strike. Gravy Taskin is back in pit lane. You're a big fan of Gravy. One could even
Not
say
the person, the
that,
condiment.
No, the condiment, yes, that's exactly what I mean. Gravy's in pit lane again. I have to wonder if is he maybe out of this race? And are we down to 4 cars? Because he's been in there for a while, and he has not been through pit lane 10 times to use his 10 fast repairs. So I have to wonder if he's maybe actually just cracked the gravy a little bit too early and made it a bit too lumpy for himself.
Ooh, that could be a possible problem, but he could just be eating gravy.
He could be. I wonder
never
I
know.
wonder if there's any tea to it, if at all.
We'd have to really have a chat with him to know what's going on.
We would.
We can only speculate, but
Unfortunately, he's not in the general channel, so we can't drag him in for a chat. Which,
poor form from
absolute-
Gravy Taskin.
Absolute poor form from Gravy Taskin. 60 sore arms, I bet. Quite possibly, yeah. Gravy could have sore arms. He is built like spaghetti. So quite possibly he has got sore arms. Chop in the chat with us as well. So Lawford and Lawler, though, in a very controlling spot here of the race. Chapman and Anderson in behind. Still possibilities of pace cars, though, throughout this race. Although we've only had the 5 up to this point. So are we going to hit the double digits tonight? I know that you're one that gets in the... Hey, we're on lap 98 in my racing. Rhiannon, I know you're one to get in the chat and often have some audacious pace car predictions. How many do you think we're now going to get throughout this race? I mean, we've also already hit 5, so it can only ever be a number more than 5. But how many do we think we're going to get now in this second half of the race, with that 5 included?
My first question about that, Hamish, is am I including the stage ends in that? If so, it will have to be a different number.
We've already hit the stage end.
Ah,
So because we've already hit the stage end, it is counted within the 5 cautions.
okay.
We're always guaranteed to have
I
one
was-
because of the stage end. And we're into
I was
stage
doing
2.
something before I had to join, so I didn't pay attention to that too much, unfortunately, as much as I tried. Took me a bit to get into the booth, but I reckon we'll probably have at least another 2 or 3.
I think that's a fair assessment. 2 or 3 across 54 laps. I think that's actually a very fair assessment, to be honest with you.
Well, they seem to have found their pace, so
And
they're
they-
not really
and
hitting each other as much.
They found their groove as well. Now that Gravy is back and on track, though, I think we could possibly say 2 to 4. Because I think Gravy's always a guaranteed caution.
From what I've heard when definitely not listening to this while I'm at my other job, yes, I would agree with that.
We'll see how it now pans out throughout this race. The fact that we're on triple-digit lap numbers means we actually have to get rid of the stage number. So on lap 103 of 155. We are on for a two-stage race though this evening. To give a little bit of race analysis for you, of course, there's 155 laps. The weather out here is pristine, 26 degrees, no wind to speak of, 45% humidity, so we are not doing too bad. Continue along here, but Lawford is continuing to supply some pressure here against Lawler. Now, as someone who definitely needs a Chinese massage, Rhiannon, how much does he have to apply as the caution's thrown, because Gravy Taskin has had another spin and he's actually just towed it back to pit lane. So another caution. That's one of possibly 4. How much pressure do we think Lawford has to apply here on his own teammate to get the knots out of him and actually find his way past him back in the race lead?
Well, from watching, definitely a lot of pressure, because to get those knots out, especially if they are deep in there, you got to really push on them to get any kind of just relief. So it would have to be quite a bit.
And how much would you classify as quite a bit?
90% pressure.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Oh my god. Okay.
The only way...
I've just seen how Gravy put his car into the barrier, and that was not pretty for Gravy Taskin. As a man who can barely grow a mustache, and it's not good for him. Everyone's in pit lane though, so pit stops are happening. Lawford, Chapman and Anderson have gone without tyres. Lawler is taking a set as he comes out, remembering their tyre sets are limited in this race, so the top 3 are playing the long game here of trying to really spread out the tyres. You can see the amount of dirt that is starting to build on the front of these cars. And, maybe they put their nose in the wrong spot at one time or another, because they are just caked.
Got a bit of a brown nose going on.
Yeah, they're caked on the front end, it seems. So that's really starting to put some pressure on them as they're back out of pit lane. I think now's a good time to drag back in our good friend and fellow Mr. Anderson.
He's on an escalator. It's going upstairs, so see you later.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Bobby 1 and 2.
Welcome in to what is already just a melting pot. Gravy's been in the wars a bit tonight. He sat in pit lane for a little while. Have we had any updates as to why he sat there for a good 5 laps?
Yeah, he needed to pee.
Oh, I see. He pulled the start of Talladega Nights move. He got out to go for a wee and grab a chicken sandwich. Okay. How are the arms in this one, Jack Oz?
Oh, they're fine.
They're fine? Oh, that's good.
Kurt just made some wall contact there.
He's made a lot of wall contact tonight. It must be said. We may just sit with you here for this restart, because why not? How's the race been for you thus far? I mean, you obviously made that mistake early, but you've been in the route now, not taking tyres on that stop. You're just trying to spread it out a bit more and maybe take the tyres on the next caution possibly, just to get a bit of better wear before the end of the race?
Well, I mean, you don't really need to take tyres at all, so we should be fine without it from now on, but it'll be interesting to see. I think we might be fueled to the end now, I'm not sure.
Well, time will tell. Rhiannon, have you got a question for Jack before we let him go and race again?
My only question is, the combination of Yoda and Grogu, would you say it's Yogru or Groda?
I like the Groda.
Ha! Yes!
Lawler has just been sent to the pits due to connection.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, luckily for him, he already got stage points, so that'll be good for him.
Yeah, and he's already made, or he's very close to making the cutoff for 75%.
Yeah, he's got to get, I think it's, he's on lap 108, he's got to get 10 more laps, and then he'll get race points as well, so he's already in the playoffs, but yeah, he's got to get to 117 and he'll be guaranteed playoffs, so well, then you get back to it, Jack. I was sorry to interrupt thanks, and put you off so much, but best of luck. Great question.
I'm going to poll as many people as I can about that, because I need to know, because I think mine's better.
Well, we have got 5 watching out there. Get out there, get into the chat. What do you prefer, Yogru or Groda? The combination of Yoda and Grogu. Lawler's back in pit lane, as we said before, with connection issues. About to rejoin the circuit. As we said, though, he's got to make lap 117 to get to the 75% mark to score race points. He's already got stage points as Lawford has run up high and into the barrier. It's lap 113 of 155 as Anderson is trying to make his way around Chapman on the outside. Chapman got way too hooked up then. Too much angle put on it. And it's lost him a bunch of time to Anderson as Lawler wants an inside run as well. Oh, and he just clipped that wall again. Rhiannon, I think the only time we've ever really seen more angle is possibly on the angle of somebody's torn ACL. Possibly. I mean, that there's a bad angle.
Yes, definitely don't want those angles, especially with the wall. One of the facts I did look up about Bristol Dirt is you want to try not to be anywhere but that middle line, which I'm sure you have said earlier, because otherwise you just don't have any traction.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start that they want to avoid the low line because that's where the tarmac and concrete will start to wear away. So you actually get random moments of the car gripping up, and that obviously makes you get loose on the dirt. It's kind of the contrary to belief of tarmac racing, obviously. Highline, obviously at the start of the race we had that. It's still kind of there, that dark spot of really loose dirt. Trying to avoid that's really, really difficult. As this race has gone on, that midline has gotten a lot darker because a lot more grip is starting to form there. There's more rubber being applied to that dirt. The line's getting spread wider and wider, and the width's getting wider and wider as well because they're using it more, so it's pushing the dirt up higher up the track as well. So, when we first joined the server tonight, that dark brown at the top of the circuit was a lot deeper in. That has been progressively pushed up as the drivers have been running on it, and Taskin getting loose has nearly made contact with the race and championship leader Angus Lawford. That could have been detrimental to his, hopes tonight at least. He is locked into the playoffs now with these points that he got earlier. But that could have really thrown a spanner in the works. What size spanner do you think it would have thrown in, Rhiannon? A 10 mil, a 12 mil, or something bigger?
I reckon the 10 mil, because then we would have lost it, and you always lose the 10 mil. Because if the 10 mil got thrown in, it would have got all over the place, and then you can't find it again.
You can't. Although, actually, no, it's weird random question. Do you know the imperial measurements of spanners?
Yes and no. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but I think some of them like a 1/4 inch.
I think 5/8 is a 10 mil.
I think so, because the set I conveniently have that don't use does have both.
Okay, so I would say 10 mil is about 5/8. So obviously we're running NASCARs, very American, very imperial. We might throw a 5/8 in there, quite possibly. Seventh
But don't
caution.
include the Americans.
Well, we're asterisks are partly right here. We've now had our second caution in this second half of the race. We're on our 7th of the evening. Lawford is going to come into pit lane. Chapman's going to follow him. Anderson has stayed out. So he's going to play the Luong game a little bit more.
We love to see a Luong game out here.
Love a Luong game. So we'll see if Lawford and Chapman take tyres on this stop as they come up to the stop there. That's not the side we want, this side here. Neither of them have. They've only taken fuel. So I would say that Jack may have been a little bit too early on his presumption of they could make it to the end on fuel. But I suppose with some cautions, they could, because you save a few laps with the cautions. So it's, I don't know, it makes it a bit difficult to really predict. In saying that, David Lawler has now made the 75% mark. He's on lap 118. So he is scoring points tonight, no matter what. So everyone of Lawford, Chapman, Lawler are scoring points. We can now unequivocally lock them into the playoffs in 2 weeks. So they will be in championship contention come the playoffs. So what we can do is sneakily, I'll do it later. I was going to do it now, but it's going to take too much fluffing around. What we can do is so obviously we have 3 cars that are now locked in. Anderson is scoring points. The least amount of points he's going to score is points for 5th. So if I look at my handy dandy screenshot I took before, the least amount he's going to get is 32, which he was coming into this race on 86. So he's going to leave this race with 118 points minimum. That would be
So it's not
currently...
too bad.
It's not too bad. It's currently good enough for P11. So he's just not quite there yet to get into the top 10. To get into the top 10... Actually, I'm forgetting about his... I think he was 4th in the stage, so he would have gotten 10, 9, 8, 7 points there. So what's that? 32 plus 7, 39. So he's on 125 points. He is on equal points with John Trott right now, who is in 10th place in the championship, as we get green flag running once again. So if Anderson can finish above 5th, of anyone behind him doesn't finish the race from here. So if Taskin leaves, if Lawler can't finish it, and he goes further, he will jump Trott, and he will get into the top 10 of the championship with 1 round to go before the playoffs. 30 laps to go in this race. There's been a bit of a knock on though from David Lawler that has gotten Anderson real loose. Caution's thrown again. You hate to see it because unfortunately, Rhiannon, Lawler is a lapped car right now. And he's just knocked over another driver who is trying to fight his way into the playoffs.
Would he be getting some kind penalties or anything for that?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
I'm just curious.
We don't
If
really,
anything like that is against the rules.
we don't give penalties to people who, like, we try not to give penalties on the fly unless it's an obvious rule break because it is such a loose rule book. It's really just like the changing lane stuff in the pace car restarts, as we've had our 8th of the race now, and then also hanging back to get an advantage. So I don't know. That's a better question for Anderson. He is in pit lane, or he has been in pit lane. So he's gotten that car fixed, and he's put some more fuel on board it as well. Chapman's back in again, so he's going to take some fuel. I suppose the difference for Jack is it actually doesn't matter now because he's always going to get 39 points. He's always going to get to equal 10th in the championship. So
he's okay.
He's okay right now. Like at this stage of the race, he is always going to make the top 10. Well, technically it's top 11, but he'll always make the top 10. With Gravy more than 10 laps down, we can, and the fact that Lawler is a few laps more down than him, so we could reasonably argue he's actually going to finish P3. Unless his car gets properly rip-shredded and he drops 2 laps, which it could happen. The more reasonable answer is...
Which is Halloween.
Yeah, it is Halloween.
Spooky things happen.
Spooky things do happen. So if he gets 4th, it's 33 points. That's 40 points. He goes up to 126. 3rd is 34 points. That's 41, so 127. So unless he gets a race win, which is worth 40, the best he is going to sit is 10th in the championship after tonight, but he's guaranteed to sit 10th at the moment. So he is going to come back in, though, to pit lane. So we'll see what happens here with Anderson. But yeah, he is guaranteed to be 10th in the championship. Whether it's joint 10th or he's the only one that's 10th is yet to be answered. So it is a good thing for him. It's a tough thing for other drivers. It's really going to shrink the gap. What it is going to create for us, though, with some drivers missing this week, it is going to tighten things back up again for the bottom end of the top 10, and it's really going to tighten up who can realistically make it. Now, what it will do is it will actually cut out some drivers after this week's race. And we'll be able to get into that, very likely next week. So if 10th
if they wanted to try and make it, they should have raced today.
They should have raced. 25 laps to go, though, in this one. So it's anyone's game at this stage with 25 to go. Anderson is in pit lane again. So he's really putting the pressure on himself here as Lawford and Chapman are battling away with 25 to go. So to do the quick maths on it, so the people that will get cut off tonight is Bailey Brannan, Ricky Hyde, Jack Michaels and Cam Mathematically to make the top 10. Ross Armour can as well, but that'll take a bit of extra maths post-race to really figure out if they can definitely make it or not. Should be wild. Absolutely wild if they do. 23 to go though, so we'll see how this pans out throughout this race. So Anderson and Lawler are now technically, no, Lawler's still lap down. This is actually just run it high. So, well, we've got 23 laps to go. Rhiannon, let's see if you can list 23 different T types for us. How about that?
Can they all be still black tea, but the different flavors?
Sure.
Because there's different types of tea in of itself. There's different flavors of different types of tea as well.
How about you give us 20 different ones? You give us 5 of each. How about that?
Oh, I don't even think there is 20 different types of tea in of itself.
No, 5. So groups of 5. You know what? That's fine.
You've worded this incorrect.
I have. It's fine.
This is on you.
It's fine. 21 laps to go in this race. Angus
Well,
Lawler
then
in
I'll give a
good
tea
spot.
for this lap.
Yeah, give me a tea for this one.
Earl Grey, the one everyone seems to know. And now
Okay.
20 laps.
20 laps
Melbourne
to go.
breakfast.
Are you going to give us a tea every single lap?
Yes,
Okay.
you asked for a certain amount of teas and you're getting one a lap.
Okay. All
This
right,
is on
sure.
you.
Sure, that's fine.
You've been dating me 9 months. You should know what I'm like.
This is true.
At
19
this point,
laps to go.
matcha.
That's just grass.
No, it's a tea leaf. Matcha is not grass, it's a tea leaf. That's ground up into a powder.
Okay, well, Angus Lawford's currently got 4.2 seconds ahead of Kurt Chapman. 18 laps to go, so another tea.
That one would be Singapore breakfast, my personal favourite.
Oh, interesting.
That's a combination of black tea and green tea.
Does it taste like a lack of chewing gum?
No.
Oh, interesting. So Lawford's in heavy control here. Taskin's back in pit lane. So as we have got 17 laps to go, he is currently 12 laps. Now, actually, no.
French
now,
Earl Grey
actually, no, now
as
13.
well.
Okay, French Earl Grey, thank you. He's now 13 laps off of the race lead. So if he goes 4 laps down at this period of time, or he's in pit lane for the next 4 laps, that will be it. He's back out on the road, so he's continuing on. As soon as he goes the same amount of laps to go down on the race leader, he will be guaranteed P5. That then obviously guarantees some points for a couple of drivers and guarantees where they can actually end up in this race. But right now it is Angus Lawford's to lose, the man that is locked into the playoffs. It's we're now 15 laps to go, so we need 2 different ones here because we missed 16 to go.
Do you want to interrupt you?
That's
I
fine.
don't want to interrupt you. So, there is a just black tea in of itself, no flavour,
Yes.
black tea,
Yes.
and then chamomile.
Oh, very good. 14 to go. I'm going to give
try.
you one. I was going to give one. Okay, 14 to go.
You can give one on 13 to go.
I will give one on 13 to go. So Lawford's in heavy control here. We've got Chapman in P2, Anderson P3 at the moment in solid control of the position here of P10 in the championship. Once this race is completed, he's got 2 laps over David Lawler. 13 to go. Irish. There you go. There's a T for ya.
Fun fact, that one does not have whiskey in it despite Irish in it, which is kind of sad. I wish they would soak it in whiskey. Would be definitely a wake up.
That is certainly a flavour. Rhiannon, how do you think Gravy Taskin can improve on his racing acumen now throughout the rest of this season?
Not going to pit lane so much.
Yeah.
And don't know what the word acumen means, if I'm honest. I can't Google it right now. I am on a single screen setup.
How can he expand his skill set to maybe improve himself a bit better?
Practice more. Practice with other races. I don't know what he actually does outside of the races.
He's currently having
themselves.
to borrow a PC at his friend's house. So
Has he thought about getting his own PC?
he has one. He's getting it fixed. To give the
Has he thought about?
better information for you.
Has he thought about not having a broken PC?
True, that's another good point. We've got 10 laps to go in this race. Angus Lawford is tucked up right behind Jack Anderson, who's at risk of going a lap down here. He's about a lap ahead of David Lawler at the moment, so Anderson is doing quite well. Oh, there's a bit of contact with him and Lawford, though.
Just a bit of a kiss.
No, the kith comes at a little front to rear contact. That's a little kith. We'll see if he gives him one here. He gets right up behind him. He very well may do. He does love giving him one. Oh my God, look at that angle as he's gone round and the caution is out thrown. Oh, Jack Anderson has nearly beached it down there. He gave that wall a big kith. So it's a late break caution in this race. Anderson, who's now got a lap down, is actually going to get the lucky dog here possibly. We'll take this time just to quickly have a chat to Kurt Chapman. Hello, Kurt.
Hello.
Now, a few things, Kurt, obviously. Late caution here. You've taken tyres on the previous stop, so I assume you're not going to be taking any this time.
Nope.
Okay. So, we're past 75%, so you've made the playoffs. Congratulations. Round of applause. Well done. How are you going to attack this? Are you going to try and go for the race win now over Lawford knowing that, or are you just going to try and solidify some points in this race?
Well, we're both in the race for the playoffs, so we'll just see how things play out, and if anyone makes mistakes.
Now, do you think possibly... Well, if you go for the win, I suppose you'll get a bonus point for the playoffs. That can go pretty well next to your name if that happens.
That would look pretty nice. Obviously, I got the win last week, and I would like to go 2 in a row. Road course and a dirt oval, pretty cool.
Yeah. Imagine if you made it 3 in a row and you kept the momentum running into Nashville next week, where points don't even matter for you necessarily, but bonus points can obviously have a factor too. We'll let you get prepped for the restart of this race. We did ask this question earlier to Jack. We're going to ask you as well. Obviously, knowing that Jack has got both Yoda and Grogu on his car. Rhiannon, would you like to ask Kurt the question?
The combined names are either Yogru or Groda. Which one do you prefer?
Probably the second one.
Another one.
I think you're all incorrect, because it sounds like grody. And that's a gross word.
Grotty is a gross word. Grody, I've never heard of.
Yeah, but it also kind of sounds like Groot as well.
It does. It does. Well, we'll let you get going again, Kurt. Congratulations on making the playoffs now as well. We'll see how you go in these final few laps.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, pressure's building.
Grody is the American version of grotty, by the way.
I've never heard an American say that, and I know many of them.
Yeah, but those are actually decent Americans.
True, they aren't grotty ones. Restart's about to get us underway. We're on lap 152. So we are going to have 3 laps to go in this race. 2 laps for a caution to get thrown and go overtime and go green, white, checkered. Once the white flag's out, it will be guaranteed to be the last lap of this race. Lawford and Chapman will battle for this race lead. Chapman is on fresher tyres. Restart zone lights up once again as it's 3 to go at Bristol. The cars are plastered with mud on the front end. Who can master Bristol Dirt one final time? The momentum is with the 52 car, the championship leader Angus Lawford. And with 2 laps to go when they cross the line, it is anyone's game. But right now, he is applying pressure to everyone else to catch him. Anderson has lost a spot to David Lawler as Lawler's running up high. Anderson's trying to get past, slides his way through. Lawler in the wall, 2 to go. And he's up onto the podium. Lawford, though, is about to catch the white flag. 1 lap to go here out at Bristol Dirt. And it could be another race win for Lawford if he happens to get this one perfected. It'll be a bonus point in the playoff scheme of things. Lawford, Chapman, and Lawler are all guaranteed to be in the playoffs now. Checkered flags out. Final time across the strike. 1:55, done and dusted, and Lawford has taken the win. Ahead of Kurt Chapman, David Lawler, Jack Anderson, and Gravy Taskin at the back of the field. So Anderson home in P4. That now puts him inside of the top 10 by 1 solitary point. 1 point separates 10th place and 11th place in the championship. 4 points separates P10 and P9 with 1 round to go in the regular season. Could it have been built up any better than that across this season, Rhiannon, as someone who likes to watch these races across the weekend?
Yes, definitely on the weekend and not while I'm at work. No, I think considering Jack Anderson was away for 3 weeks, he's done well to get himself back into the playoffs.
He's done well.
And into the championship.
Put himself in the position that everyone would have hoped to have gotten to. And that there is race done. Done and dusted. Everyone has had a stellar effort tonight as we wait to have a chat to some drivers. So actually it has classified Anderson as P3.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It said he was P4 as they crossed the line.
It did, although if we look back here, no, it's has this set the positioning? No. He started P2. That's fine. So weird. Okay, it is classifying him as P3. Fair enough. We'll have a quick chat to him.
Thinks it's yeah, of course.
It's classified you as P3, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, not Angus, sorry. David Lawler was very kind and gave me the position back on the line, like a Lightning McQueen moment.
Well, that was very kind of him, must be said. But P3, that's now P10 in the championship. After missing 3 rounds this season, Jack Oz, you are in P10 by 2 points over John Trott. So there's a bit of pressure on you now for next week. But you're a little bit closer to some drivers now. Obviously, the top 3 in the championship, Lawford, Chapman and Lawler, are now locked into the playoffs. But it's anyone's game now with everyone else involved. What are you hopeful for can happen next week at Nashville?
Oh, well, I came in tonight knowing that I had a good chance of making some points. So I didn't really, I wasn't really too bothered about where I finished tonight. Just want to thank them all for all the boys that actually showed up that saw it all the way out, because it was a lot of fun despite the lack of cars. So
I think
hopefully
the cautions actually helped that though, because it kept the battles nice and close, and it reset everyone else well throughout the race.
Yeah, I decided it was probably best to just wave everyone around that was down a lap a couple times to try and get them back their laps. So it definitely helped, especially putting Lawler back on the lead lap towards the end, and then I kind of forgot that I went a lap down, so I had to wave myself around.
Well, bit more pressure next week, of course. You've pretty much just got to outscore everyone outside of the top 10, and you will make the playoffs the week after. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but I think there's also a little bit less pressure involved in that as well. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Obviously Yoda and Grogu. Want to shout out Bubby 1 and Bubby 2.
It's been decided as well.
Commentating this race.
Well, Jack, it's been decided as well. So both you and Kurt agree with me that it is Groda. So it's officially known as Groda. That car now, the Toyota is Groda.
The toy Groda.
The toy Groda. Yeah, the toy Groda.
I want to thank Jordan for most likely sleeping through the race, to be honest. And just obviously you two in the broadcast booth. I'm probably going to have to go back and watch and see
it was certainly a
couple of your clips. So
it was certainly a broadcast.
I say words. That's for
I'm
sure.
a little disappointed you didn't bring in Chop though.
I didn't,
because he's been sitting up there.
I know. I
So,
didn't know if he'd want
but
it,
yeah,
he was just sitting there.
Oh, just bring him up anyway.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
Oh, well.
Hopefully next week we get a lot more drivers back, and should be good. I can't even remember what track it is, to be honest. So
Nashville.
I'm looking forward to it though. Oh, even better.
I know, it's gonna be a good time. Right, we'll let you get out of here. Thanks so much, Jack Oz. Best of luck next week, and we'll see if you make the playoffs after missing 3 rounds as an international agent.
Thanks, Bubsy.
Next up, we have P2 on the road here this evening in Mr. Kurt Chapman, who spoke to us a couple of times this evening, and we'll have a quick chat to him once again. Kurt, congratulations, P2 on the road. We spoke to you obviously right before that, the end of that one there. Couldn't quite get to Lawford in the end, but still locked into playoffs. Bit of less pressure off you now. Do you think next week it's going to be important to still show up and race to keep yourself, in check before the playoffs? Or are you going to take a week off possibly?
I'll be there. I'll definitely turn up and maybe ruffle a few feathers.
I mean, you might as well. You might help someone get into the top 10. You might hurt someone inside the top 10 and knock them out, possibly as well. I mean, it's anyone's game next week. With that pressure now being gone, what sort of pressure is there going to be going into... Well, what sort of pressure is there going to be going into Texas in a few weeks' time? I mean, you'll be at least top 3 in the championship. So, obviously, you'll be at a better advantage for the first round. Do you think racing next week's obviously going to be quite important just to get some points on the board and solidify yourself in a higher position inside that top 10 prior to the playoffs happening?
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with how the playoffs and all that work.
So how it will work is, so once we know our top 10, the points will get reset to, I think it's 1,000. We're resetting them to. And then your bonus points for the season from stage wins and race wins will then get added to those 1,000 points, and then that'll give us our top 10. And then week 1, P8 through P10 will get knocked out. So if you end up being the 8th best performing driver out of the playoff drivers, and it's enough for you to actually go to 8th in the championship, you'll get knocked out. Week 2, it'll be 5th through 7th, and then the final week, it'll be the final 4 battling for the championship at Talladega. So, with a road course thrown in there in week 2, that could really throw a spanner in the works, especially if, say, someone like Dodds, who's learning on ovals, makes the second week, because he could actually then put some more pressure on the road course. Or, again, there could be some spanners in there of drivers who may not have as much experience on the road course as they do on the ovals. They make it through week 1, but then they struggle in week 2. So it's going to be an interesting process. But yeah, I mean, you've had a great season, Kurt. I think you should be proud of your effort this season. You made the playoffs, so that's box 1 ticked. Box 2 now is to try and go back-to-back in the championship and keep that number 1 on the car.
Yeah. I got a race win this season as well, which I missed out on last season. So I'm pretty chuffed about that from last week.
Well, you've managed to improve this season ahead of or over last season, obviously, and now we'll see how strong this can end for you. But is there anyone, Kurt, you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here tonight?
I'll give a shout out to you guys and Infinity Broadcasting for broadcasting the event and IRWC for hosting it.
No worries at all. Thank you so much, Kurt. Best of luck next week out at Nashville, and best of luck in the playoffs in a few weeks' time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have our race winner here this evening, current championship leader as well, locked into the playoffs now. It is Angus Lawford. Angus, congratulations. You've locked yourself in to a position for Texas Motor Speedway in week 1. You got yourself a few more bonus, or another bonus point, in fact, because of your race win tonight as well. Next week at Nashville, what sort of mentality is there going to be racing out there? Is it going to be go for the win again, try and get a bonus point for the playoffs, or is it going to be go out there, have some fun, and just keep yourself in check prior to the playoffs beginning the week after?
I think I'm just going to go out there and try to have some fun and stuff like that, and try to keep it enjoyable. Don't want to get too serious, otherwise I start driving crappy. So, had a lot of fun out here on the dirt, and looking forward to the next couple of rounds. I think the one that I'm looking forward to most would be Mexico. So, yeah, looking forward to what's to come.
I suppose the focus now should, I suppose for you, knowing how fast you are on the road courses, is make sure you make it through Texas, so then you've got a much less stressful race at Mexico where you can try and make it through to Dega in the final round, I suppose. So, Is that the thought process now? Is focus up for Texas, get fast, but get comfortable there and try and slot yourself into the top 7?
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan, is just not to worry about where I am in the 7, but just to make sure I'm there or thereabouts coming into the road course.
Well, it's going to be a much easier run for you being at the top end of town, obviously, and some good points next week, so it really helps solidify your position at the top end of the championship as well, Angus. A fantastic run this season, a great run tonight as well. Dominance personified again. It's another race win for you, so congratulations on that front. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening? Any friends or family or team sponsors who are out on the car and help you get out on track each week?
No worries, but I'd like to thank the broadcast. It's always a hell of a show. Project 36 and the sponsors of CC Forged, simrigs.com, Outlier Speed Co, and Cataclysm PCs and Shockworks.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for that one, Angus. Best of luck next week out at Nashville, where the pressure's off now, and then best of luck at Texas in week 1 of the playoffs as well.
No worries, mate. Cheers. You have a good one.
No worries, you too. Well, that will bring an end to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, Rhiannon. You survived at least half a broadcast that you were here for. So.
Well, those cars certainly went vroom on the half I was able to commentate.
Yeah. The cars certainly went vroom.
And they certainly have tyres.
They certainly have tyres, they do. They have fuel as well, did you know?
Ooh.
But
do they have engines, though? Has anyone checked?
Yes, they do have engines. They do. We confirmed that pre-race. But yeah, as we've said, next week is the final round of the regular season when we go racing out at Nashville Superspeedway. You can join us once again then at 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'll be back in the booth solo once again for the 7th of November. Big thank you to everyone that's joined us here this evening. If you joined us for the first time or you've been here for a little while, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the bell icon too if you haven't done so already, so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. We are at 244 subscribers. We've got 6 subscribers to go until we get to 250. I'd love it if we could do it by November. It's obviously grasping at straws though, with only a few hours to go until November begins and October ends. But thank you guys so much for being with us on this journey. We've got 1 to go in the regular season before the playoffs begin. Who knows what's going to happen across those few weeks. Next up on the docket this weekend, we have the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Season 25. And the Split 2 action out at Sandown. That'll be happening on Sunday afternoon. It'll be getting set up tomorrow, and you guys will then be able to see the time that it does begin. If you've got the bell icon on, it'll notify you about the time that it will be starting. And then Monday night, not Monday night, sorry. We are not live Monday night for the Porsche Cup Series. That'll be happening mid next week. Very likely Wednesday evening will be the VRS Porsche Cup Series. 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time on Wednesday evening. More than likely. It may be Tuesday. We'll see how it pans out. I haven't meant to go to on the Monday, so unfortunately we can't do it live. But no, big thank you to everyone, though, who's joined us once again. Really, really appreciate it. This has been the IRWC Rod Knock Cup. Massive thanks to all the series sponsors, VRS, Infinity Broadcasting, SPP Graphics, and Black Art Designs as well. See you guys next week out at Nashville for the final round of the regular season. Who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to get dropped and dumped? Like yesterday's news, only time will tell. We'll find out next week, though. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Side gunning for a gold, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat, great time when the lights go green. We light the sky. Let's light it up.